spectacular moment for Indian cinema, broadly Telugu cinema. Do you see this as a big turning point?
Of course, I think every time there's someone who pushes the boundary, I think it's the last time also it's been Rajamouli, where he's got India together as a cinematic nation. Now he's broken some international barriers, and it's just, I've been up since 5 o'clock watching the live, which is why I still sound groggy. But well, it's a celebration for all of us, really, and I just feel like it's too massive. It's the right people, it's the best people, people who given all their lives for cinema, and that's all they do, 24/7. That's the entire family works for the movies, and I'm just very, very excited and glad that this is that moment.
And as someone who's worked closely with Mr. Rajamouli, this beautiful combination of Rajamouli and Keeravani, throw some insights into how the magic happens. Whatever we see on the screen is just grand. And how does this happen? You've worked with him in Bahubali.
Well, first it's Rajamouli's grand vision, really, in terms of being able to envision things far, far larger than lives and underlining that with emotion that's very, very deep and very Indian and very rooted, right? And the beauty is, Keeravani Garu is and him go like almost like one person. It's not just them, it's their entire family. Usually when people say don't take work back home, Rajamouli brings work, brings home to work. So it's this entire family, the kids, the next generation of all of them are so passionate and loving towards cinema, which is why they're able to just make great things over and over again.
And as someone, you're a pan-India star, Rana. So now I want to ask you, would you say that this is a coming-of-age moment for Telugu cinema, broadly for Indian cinema, because now we are no longer having these definitions that this is Telugu cinema. We are not divided by boundaries. Do you think that the narrative is going away?
I'll tell you something. I've said this to a lot of people, and mostly to press, right? The filmmakers never had a divide. You just understood it now, right? Okay. And you're understanding that, oh, this is how big India is. Because you usually have a central India narrative which sits out of Delhi and Bombay. And that's the narrative, right? And you're quite oblivious to the nation because that's the culture, right? That's all we get to hear. But India is a much bigger country, and thanks to whether it's cinema, whether it's social media, it's bringing this together. See, what's the mainstream India? Right? It's politics, it's journalism in some ways. It's meant to divide and meant to create states, meant to create identity as a language. But art is the other way around. Art only unites people. So whether it's the Bahubali doing it from Telugu, whether it's KGF and Kantara doing it from Kannada, whether it's Rajinikanth sir's Robo and Kamal sir's many, many films doing it from Tamil, or films like Roja, these have been happening for like, Roja happened in like the 80s and the 90s. Shiva happened in the early 90s. These were moments that were there. It's just that only few people knew it. And filmmakers from here made films there. Vice versa had happened. But I think now, because of whether it's social media, whether it's cinema, the art has united, and we've kind of first time created that true Indian moment where if India comes together as a cinematic nation, the Oscar is where we land at.
Absolutely. You know why I asked you this question is because CNN News 18's Indian of the Year event, where we were felicitating Allu Arjun, he said that in his 20-year-old decade career in the cinema film industry, he says that it was his first award in the North. And interestingly, Chiranjeevi Garu also, during the time of Godfather's release, said earlier Indian cinema was just seen from the purview, from the lens of Hindi cinema. Do you think that now Bollywood's big brother supremacy is breaking away, or should we see in that way?
I'll tell you something. People who live there, who speak Hindi, thought Hindi was Indian cinema. But people who lived here, we thought Telugu was Indian cinema. People who lived in Tamil Nadu thought Tamil was Indian cinema. That's what India is. It's unity and diversity. There's no one-upmanship ever. If Bahubali made 1,000 crores, it made it in Telugu, Hindi, Tamil, like across, right? So the audience didn't see it like, oh, that's a Telugu film, let me not watch it, or this is a Hindi film, let me watch it. Audience don't have a problem. It's business, it's reviews, it's an intellect trying to understand what is happening. See, because when something changes, you can't accept it like, oh no, this couldn't have happened. Because it could have happened before also, but it's just sometimes it's the right time, right?
So even within the industry, you're saying this perspective is evolving. But you're right when you say that audiences no longer see. Audiences enjoy watching an Allu Arjun, watching a Rana. Bahubali was one of the biggest celebrated movies in Indian history. Went down in the history books. You had Pushpa, you have Kantara, you have KGF, of course. So do you think even within the industry, the biases that industry has had, that has broken away?
It's not biases, it's just that we just got braver. See, now, earlier to experiment and do things, it was a risky asset, right? I'm saying when you were making Bahubali, it was so expensive that you didn't know what was happening or if that money can ever come back. But then India showed us that you make something awesome, they'll take it to their laps. So today, I think each filmmaker, doesn't matter where he's from, whether it's Hindi, Telugu, everyone's dreaming big. He's saying, now, here you go, let's push this envelope to the next. And see, I'm saying before Bahubali, we've never heard of 1,000 crore film or a film that India together watched. The years after that, we heard of 3 or 4 films getting there. So that's it. Now it's like each industry will start getting it, and I'm hoping the next big thing really comes from other industries. I also heard a few actors say it. It doesn't matter where it comes from, it'll still end up and become a great one. So I'm just looking forward to. It's the best time in storytelling, really. You want to enjoy telling each story across the country, you can.
Now you've become a big blockbuster hero even in the OTT space. Rana Daggubati has been getting rave reviews. I've watched it. I've loved it. In terms of the monetary aspect, the Indian film industry is now becoming increasingly global. How do you see it from a business perspective? What are your big takeaways going forward?
See, first, we have a philosophy in our company or the group that it's find your story and your storytelling mechanism, and the monetary will follow, right? Today, we just have to embrace newer forms of storytelling. I'm probably the first guy from here to put out a big-sized series, and that too on a platform like Netflix, where we know that there is a different form of storytelling that you can connect to. There's a different way to connect to your audiences. You have bigger and bigger films happening in the cinema spectacle space. You can experiment with a lot more storytelling, and it's just a bigger audience. And whether it's RRR today, whether it's Elephant Whisperers, there was a certain global connect because of the OTT platforms of Netflix where they kind of got together. So I think now it's no more, you're not making a film for one person, you're just making it out for the globe. I think what the Americans enjoyed many years, where they could make a film and a globe was watching them. I think we now are sitting in those seats.
Have you had a chance to speak to Mr. Rajamouli?
No, I still haven't. I just feel like I should see them in that sense. But I spoke to Charan, and everyone's very excited. I've been excited from the morning.
So what are the big celebrations planned up?
Well, you will see them shortly. Let them come back, and there will be a series of it.
What are the next projects that we will be seeing you in, Raja?
Me, I do one at a time. I just finished the show. It released like 2 days ago. Now, I'm just back in office, so I'll figure out what my next is.
All right, Rana, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for speaking to CNN News 18.
Thank you. Such a pleasure. Thank you.